and welcome back to Mortals and Portals, a Pathfinder real play podcast. I am your host and GM, Zach, and joining me at the table is...
Adam, and I play Jhuls, an Azurketi bard.
I'm Joel, and I play Dax, a kobold rogue.
Ryan, or Ryu, a tiefling magus.
Taryn, and I play Waltz, a human champion.
That was surprisingly normal. Good
Clean.
job, everyone. Yeah, this is a clean one. Good job. Hey.
Little palate cleanser, you know?
Yeah. Well, last time on Mortals and Portals, it was a good old nautical pirate adventure with our buddy Jhuls, who hopped on Smith, the hippogriff, and flew out to sea to try and get back Ryu. And on the way there, he flew over the town of Kuripan, which is the export city where the Drake Knights shuttle Drake eggs to and from the island of Nisserine. They seemed to be training there. It was a very active town, lots of Drake Knights. And he flew further out to sea and flew over what he would probably believe to be Sindor on the back of a drake, flying towards Nisserine. Luckily, Smith sensed the drake coming, as drakes are one of their natural predators, and got him high enough that Sindor hopefully didn't see him. And he continued to fly out to sea, found the ship that Ryu was on, landed on there, just all sorts of, shenanigans going on, people arguing for who was going to be the captain of the ship now that Bolgru was dead. And Jhuls interjected himself in that situation, caused some confusion, got them to, fight further and run around the ship and all that. Grabbed himself a bottle of rum, walked into the jail cell, just having a real easy go of things, and encountered just this, inept guard, and also Ryu acting inept at the same time, crawling around on the floor, looking for a spoon with his butt in the air. All this and that.
Source of my power.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It could have worked. My bad.
I didn't put my butt in the air. You put my butt in the air.
That's true. I did exaggerate the curvature of your spine. Yeah, sorry. That's on me.
I want to see that, Tron.
Exaggerate the curvature.
Yeah, I want to see that Patreon drawing. Oh my gosh,
into
that's probably going to be
fan
a
fiction.
His friggin' butt. Anyway, yeah, so then he started talking to the guard and was having an easy job getting rid of him, but then this guy wanted to start telling him jokes. So Jhuls just put him to sleep and let Ryu out, and he got Ryu, and they started walking out of the ship. They almost made it all the way to Smith before bumping into some people. A little fight broke out. They bailed, jumped on Smith, flew to safety. And also, Waltz and Dax were making their way to Scale Keep, and they were, talking about things, just all that they're going through. Waltz did some, meditation and started to have these visions of what feels like the end of this quest, and is very ambiguous, and he didn't really have a strong feeling on which vision was what would come to be, but he had a vision of, him dying, perhaps, the party failing and the party succeeding, and just this uncertainty that lies ahead of him. So that was something new for him. He hasn't really fully explored what these potentially divine powers mean for him, but that was kind of his first taste of calling out to whatever the source of this power is. But this discovery was interrupted by the sounds of some aggressive chattering coming from down the tunnel. So Dax and Waltz hid behind a rock and waited for the approaching sounds. And that's more or less where we ended our session. And that is where we are going to start our session with Waltz and Dax. So Waltz and Dax, you guys are hiding behind the boulder. You hear the sounds of some aggressive chattering coming your way. What do you do?
Yeah, Jhuls, welcome to the Ryu side of the story, where we don't get to play anymore.
Okay.
No,
just let me
Jhuls
know
is
when I
still
should
going to
get my
play. I
dice
just
out.
won't let you chime in with anything.
Ryan, did you want to go do something?
I guess I can go.
Well,
Now
I
I
was
know
like,
why
do you
they
and
say
I
never
want to
split
go?
the party, because they won't shut up and stop complaining
sorry.
all the time. That's it. You guys are getting struck by meteors.
I'm just going to keep hiding. I don't want to make any noise. I don't want to try to whisper anything or do anything. I'm just going to wait until the noise becomes visible, I guess, or whatever is making the noise becomes visible.
You two? Waltz?
Yeah, I'll follow suit.
All right. So you guys are pressed up against this boulder, sort of looking down the tunnel. You start to see some torchlight glowing on the tunnel walls, and you start to hear these voices grow closer. They get a little more distinct, and you hear, "I'm getting so tired of dragging this thing."
"I know, me too. It's the worst. What if we just say we took it to him and,
but what if Forgost doesn't get anything to eat and he dies? Oh, yeah, then they know we didn't feed him. All right. And you hear dragging through the dirt, and coming around the bend, you can see two figures with their backs to you dragging a deer on the ground.
What are these creatures? Like, are they goblins? Like, what size are they? What species are they, I guess?
If you want to peek your head out and make a perception check.
Absolutely. That is 12.
All right, you peek around the corner and you see a furry tail sort of playfully winding through the air. And other than that, they're sort of hunched over, so you can't really see the shapes of their head very well.
Do I get any sense of size?
Yes, one of them appears smaller, and the other one seems a little more slender and taller.
I guess what I'm asking, are they approximately Waltz and Dax size?
Yeah, I'd say
okay.
so.
Then I will just, I'll look over to Waltz and just put my finger to my mouth, like in a shushing motion.
Dax loves shushing people.
I do. Shut the heck up.
Sassy, dude. Shush. Are you going to wait for them to, like, pass you, basically?
Yes. That's my plan.
I want to wait until they're a little bit farther and then act like I'm running after them.
Sorry, they're coming towards you.
Oh, you said they have their backs turned towards
Yeah,
us.
because they're dragging something.
Oh, okay, so they haven't passed us yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to walk. I'll just walk out then.
All right, so Dax shushes
I love it.
you.
The Dax's
and you
eyes
just kind
go
of nod
wide.
at him, I'm guessing, and then just sort of stand up.
I'll kind of motion to Dax to stay, and then I'll just walk up to him. I'll be like, "Hey, you guys taking this to Forgost for his meal?"
Turn around. What the? Give me that. He takes the torch from the taller one, the shorter one. He raises it up, squinting. You see big red eyes and long goblin ears and a little goblin nose. And as the torchlight dances off the other figure, you see a cat folk with long whiskers, and you recognize them. And they say, "Wait, what? Waltz? Hey,
Hey,
Waltz. Hey, Whisk, it's Waltz.
Yes.
fellas.
Awesome.
Waltz, you're okay."
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. I mean, we gotta go drag this to Forgost. Can you believe this? They got mad at us that we lost the hippogriff, so now they're hazing us and said we gotta drag this deer all the way to Forgost. But we told them that the hippogriff would have killed us and that you saved us.
Yeah, listen, I've been hazed a lot. Hey, let me see that thing, and I'll go to pick it up and just throw it over my shoulder.
Okay, roll a strength check. Sorry, athletics check. There is no flat checks in Pathfinder, something I messed up a lot in earlier episodes just from my 5e roots.
We're learning.
Sorry, actually, I messed up again. Flat checks are where you roll and don't add any modifier, such as death saving throws.
I got an
We're
18.
Still learning.
Still learning, yeah. You got an 18?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you kind of pick it up, and your knees pop a little bit, and you get it up there, and you kind of let out a grunt, and you get it up there, and you did it. And they're like, wow, so strong, Waltz. Man,
Hey, listen,
you're
you
always so
guys,
helpful.
yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. You guys have probably done enough bringing it all the way here, so let me take this over to Forgost, and you guys can head back to Scale Keep if you want. I'll meet up with you guys back there.
Really? Wow, that's so nice, Waltz.
Yeah, well, I owe you guys one. I mean, you guys were really nice back then when I first met you and comforting me after I lost Commander Krim.
Yeah, it seemed like you were about to figure out his name for a second.
No, yeah, I wasn't.
Roll a deception check. With a +2 circumstance bonus, just because you've already kind of fooled these guys in the past.
17.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes grief, makes you forget things. Maybe it's for the best you forget him. Yeah, he was the worst. No, don't say that to him. He likes him. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's just been such a long couple of days. It's one of those times, right?
Here? We saw you back in Enoch, and what are you doing in Pagos? Were you just in Forgost's lair?
Yeah, I was just in Forgost's lair, and all this stuff was going on, and I just found myself back here. Figured I'd take this route to Scale Keep because I was already in Forgost's lair. Yeah.
You gotta do the buddy system, Waltz. Drake Knights don't travel alone. Yeah.
Yeah, when you guys offered take me with you, I really messed up back there, and from now on, I think I'll do the buddy system after I take this thing to Forgoth Slayer. I'm going to meet up with you guys back at Scale Keep, and then maybe I could be number 3 in your guys' group. Is that cool with you guys?
Number 3? Well, yeah, our last number 3 died. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. But
all right, guys.
You should
well,
hurry, because there's the fight's gonna start. The fight for leadership.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't want to miss that. I always love a good fight for leadership.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's actually what it's called, but that's essentially what it is.
Who do you think's going to win? Who do you guys got your money on?
It's probably gonna be Boric. That guy's the worst.
Yeah, he's tough, though.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Nellie's dead, Bulger's at sea, Commander Krim died. No, don't bring up Commander Krim. Oh, yeah, sorry. The rat
Oh, no,
died.
it's okay. It's okay. Enough time has passed, and I've mourned enough. I get it. He wasn't liked by everybody, but I did like the guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. Whoever wins the fight gets to rule the Drake Knights.
All right. Hey, well, listen, you guys save me a seat when that fight starts, all right?
Yeah, okay, you got it.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
I'll kind of just start adjusting the deer on my back and slowly walking towards Forgoth
Oh,
Slayer.
hey, wait, Waltz. You've never been
Oh,
to
what's
Scale
up?
Keep, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you're the only one in this tunnel with us, right?
No, the kobold behind you.
No, because, remember when I ran into you guys the first time, I was wondering where it was, but luckily you guys pointed me in the right direction. But obviously I got lost and, ran into Forgoth Slayer, but, luckily I ran into you guys again, so I'm assuming that this is the route to Scale Keep.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm assuming you know the password.
Oh, yeah, I know the password. Wait, they didn't change
Okay,
it,
good.
did
What? Oh, I don't know.
they? You don't know if they changed it?
Yeah, like when? Like, what do you mean? Since when?
Well, shoot, last I heard was a while ago from Commander Krim. He said that the password was Red Death. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but he said it was Red Death a while ago. Does that mean anything to you
See,
guys?
I don't get it. How did he get a rule of the Drake? Like, he's an idiot. He doesn't even know the password. Yeah, seriously, that's not right at all. That's never been the password.
Wait, so that's not the pass? You guys are telling me Red Death isn't the password to Scale Keep?
No,
Well, what is it?
it's Owlbear.
Owlbear? That's a dumb password. Red Death sounds
That's
way
what I
cooler.
said. Yeah, that's what I said. Boric's in charge. Maybe he can change it.
Yeah, hopefully, it's not the biggest thing if it's just kind of a silly password. I just thought Red Death sounded a little bit cooler.
Yeah, it does sound kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool, Waltz.
Yeah, maybe we'll have some sort of democracy and we'll be able to vote on the password.
I don't know. Boric's gonna be in charge because he's gonna bash everyone's skull with a giant maul. But yeah, maybe
he does
democracy.
that. Yeah, I always forget that that's kind of his thing, is bash a people's skull until it's just kind of dust on the ground.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with those beastkin.
No, yeah, hey, listen, me either. I would, I know my limits, and I'm not messing with a guy like that.
Waltz, we could help you carry this back to Forgoth Slayer. It could save us some time.
No, ever since pretty much all of my comrades died in that one battle, it's been nice to kind of have a little bit of alone time and clear my head. So, if you don't mind, I think I'd actually... Oh, yeah, I'm pretty depressed lately, but that's all right.
Damn.
Yeah. But I'll be able to meet up with you guys soon. If you don't mind just maybe giving me a little bit of time to clear my head, and I'll see you back at Scale Keep. How's that sound?
Yeah, it sounds good. We'll save you a seat.
All right, thanks, buddies.
Yeah. Hey, see you later, Waltz. Man, that
Later,
guy's the
fellas.
best. Yeah. All right, bye, Waltz.
I just
Later,
start
guys.
skipping down the tunnel.
I'll wait a while until they're out of earshot and slowly walk down the opposite direction just a little bit, set the deer down, and walk back to Dax. Dax, I don't know if you heard any of that, but it turns out the password to Scale Keep is Owlbear.
I don't understand how any of that worked.
They're nice guys. I actually know them. I ran into them a while back.
Are those the same ones from Smith? From when we
Oh
set
yeah,
him
you were there. Yeah, no, same guys.
Oh my. That is not how I anticipated this going, but I guess I'm glad it worked.
All right, come on, Dax. We don't got time to waste.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
And Dax
We
is just
don't got time
baffled
to
by
waste.
How this is playing out.
It's even better that he didn't know that was them when he just stepped out to start talking to him.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of trot our way, making sure that we stay far enough away from the two that just left us so, that they don't hear us coming or anything.
All right, sounds good. So you guys start to move down the tunnel after waiting a little bit. And with that, we'll cut over to Jhuls and Ryu.
Hey, they're not supposed to
And
play.
Yeah, they get to play. So yeah, you guys are flying still over the ocean, getting closer towards the island of Nisserine. So if you guys wanted to converse at all.
Jhuls, I only sensed you on the ship. Where are Dax, Waltz, and Geldir? I hope you did away with Clag.
As a matter of fact, Dax dealt with Clag. He is no longer with us. As for Geldir, turns out we couldn't trust him after all. He tried to kill Waltz, but he ran away before we could apprehend him. Waltz and Dax went on ahead to Scale Keep. That's where we're heading.
I suppose I never considered Geldir trustworthy anyway. What did he attempt to do?
Kill Waltz? I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, but...
In your sleep?
No. As we were attempting to take out Forgast, he and Waltz were positioned to assist Dax and I up atop the cave. He apparently pushed Waltz right down the hole.
You left the man we did not trust the most alone with Waltz?
Well, we had a heart-to-heart moments before we went into the cave.
You had to be there.
Look,
It
when you
was,
put it like that.
Yeah, you had listened to the DM. You had to be there.
Well, fortunately you all have me back.
That is very true. It is very good to have you back with us. How are you, by the way? Are you hurt?
I've been better, but I'll manage. You mentioned Dax and Waltz are on their way to Scale Keep.
Yes, though I can't give any specifics as to what they're up to. You know Waltz. They could literally be doing anything right now.
Unfortunately, as much as I feel I know him, I feel there is much I do not understand about him. And agreed, they could be anywhere at this point.
Yes, you are quite right.
But Jhuls, listen. Why did you come back for me?
Because we're Digby's crew.
Digby's crew.
You would have done the same for us, wouldn't you?
Ryu remains silent and ponders. for a
Wouldn't
moment.
you?
Jhuls, what is our plan now?
Well, after our fight with Forgast, we realized we were out of our depth with Desmar. We changed plans and decided it would be most beneficial to head to Scale Keep.
Desmar, the desert trait, correct?
Correct.
Things did not go smoothly with Forgast then?
Well, we could have definitely used you, I'll say that. But everyone's alive.
So the plan at this point is to take the Arcanor at Scale Keep. Is that it?
You've got it.
Understood. One other thing I should mention to you, Jhuls. I have received some confirmation as to changes that occurred to me whilst in Pagos. When these changes occur to me, I am unaware of when they happen and do not know when they could happen again. So for that, I wanted to give you fair warning.
Well, thank you for the warning. I suppose that makes some sense now, as you definitely were in denial of those changes.
Would you please describe to me what changed?
Your hair, for one, went from stark white to bleak black, and your demeanor was, unbearable.
According to Sindor, these changes happen with the seasons. My guess is with the varying environments here on Nisserine, once I crossed into Pagos, is when I changed. Once we enter that region again, be prepared for me to be, as you say, unbearable.
Did appear to happen when we crossed over to Pagos. Wait, hold on. You said you talked to Sindor?
Yes, Sindor was on that ship. He left moments before you arrived. He's after Waltz and Dax, so we should make haste.
After hearing that, I remember the Drake that Smith and I flew by on the way. And, Jhuls I can't help to get a little pit in my stomach thinking about the people of Karos and just all of the friends we've made so far that are counting on us. And then I'll turn my head back towards Ryu and say, I agree, but we may have to make one quick stop first.
Where to?
And as you say that, you start to approach the town of Kurapan, with ships at the docks and bustling activity of Drake Knights that you can see off in the distance.
I'll turn to Rio again and say, "We're here,
Where's here?
in Kurapan."
Ah, the city where I entered onto the ship in the first place.
I'd imagine so.
What business have you here?
Well, on my way to come rescue you, I flew over Kurapan, and I couldn't help but notice that they were loading ships with drake eggs, and there were other drake knights, and I'm just concerned about all the people here that deserve to be free of this tyranny. I feel an obligation to those people to do what we can to stop their suffering. Not to mention the river that leads to Scale Keep. If things go south, they could send reinforcements. We could prevent some future struggles by creating some mischief here. What say you?
That sounds sensible, but we should make it quick. How do you work this sniff? Can you make it go faster?
Smith. And, yes, I can make him go quite fast. And then I'll gesture him to go down.
All right. You
Just to mess with Ryu.
All right, so you kind of lean forward, and Smith dips down and rushes through the air and glides down towards Kurapan.
Whoa, that is fast.
And with that, we'll cut back to Waltz and Dax. All right, so you guys have been walking for a while and feel you could be arriving at Scale Keep or whatever the entrance looks like at any moment. And I'll kick it over to you guys.
So, Waltz, do you have a plan for when we get there? Seemed like you knew what you were doing anyway when you were talking to those guys.
Oh, no, I actually have no idea what we're going to run into next.
Cool.
I don't suppose you have any experience heisting a very high-value item or anything, do you?
Funny you should ask, Waltz. As a matter of fact, I do. That was kind of my ticket off of Dracus, actually. Kind of a long story, but, had to steal an ingot of a rare metal and, use that as a bartering chip to get off that planet. So I think I've got the skills to help us out. You with your outgoing, quick on your feet thinking, and me with my sneaking and thievery experience. I think we might actually have a shot at this.
Yeah, no, it's funny how things sometimes just kind of work out for me. Like I didn't get executed. We just somehow killed 2 drakes. I found friends that have gone through similar things that I did, going through a nodes, and now I'm with somebody who has the skill set to do exactly what we need to do in this specific situation. So, it's everything always just kind of works out,
If I was a more spiritual person, I might think there might be some to that, but I think we're just really lucky.
I think we are, because at the same token, we obviously have some that weren't able to join us on this journey, like Digsby. So as much as things kind of work out for me, it is kind of tough that it doesn't work out for a lot of people around us.
That's true. That's a good point.
And Waltz is just going to think back to some of the memories or visions that he kind of had, or other people's memories, whatever those were earlier, of, him being the one that actually dies, but also the other ones of, the other possible outcomes, and just kind of ponder those as we kind of finish the walk to, I don't know, wherever the end of this tunnel leads.
So, Dax, you maybe see that Waltz is kind of looking down and clearly in deep thought, and as you look up, you see a metal door at the end of the tunnel.
Dax will right away just kind of reach behind him into his pack and pull out his thieves' tools, kind of fumbling with the lock picks, just getting ready to use them on the door.
Can I do a perception check?
Yep.
Just see what I see around me. 14.
Yeah, so you kind of look down at Dax as he's fumbling through his thieves' tools. You see a lot of instruments, so you don't really know what they'd be used for necessarily, but you can see Dax just kind of looking over the gear, taking a little inventory check, cleaning stuff off. And then you look back at the metal door, and you see that it's blocking the entire width of the tunnel. And on the door seems to be like a little window that's shut, but appears to have like a separate panel that goes back and forth.
You've seen movies. You know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waltz, you think of like all the movies you've seen, all the plays you've been at.
After fumbling with his tools for a little bit, he'll look to Waltz. Waltz, is this where that password's for?
Listen, your guess is as good as mine.
Fair enough. Once we get within like 10 feet or so, I'll start slowing my walk a little bit, and I'll take out one of the things from my thieves kit. It's just a long metal rod, and I'll place it against the door and put the rod up to my ear. For those they call them a mechanic stethoscope. You can use it to like listen to the inside of an engine and stuff as they're running.
Ooh, nice.
But using that,
Oh.
I will try to listen to anything going on behind the door.
All right, roll me a perception check, and I would have done a -2 circumstance bonus because it's a metal door, but since you did that like cool little flavor thing, you can just roll a straight up normal check.
Aw.
17.
So you put your ear up against the door, and you hear what sounds like arguing, and it's all muffled, and you hear, "No way! Vorgoth would totally be able to kill Desmar." "Are you kidding? Do you know anything about desert drakes? Desmar would absolutely destroy Vorgoth." "Yeah, right. We could totally set this up. You don't know anything about drakes." You just
I'll
sound,
stop
you just hear
listening.
what's arguing.
Oh, Waltz, they seem pretty distracted. I think maybe I'll just try to pick it. Get the least amount of attention on us as possible.
Waltz will just shrug.
And I will attempt to pick the lock.
All right, roll me a thievery check.
All right. Oh, nat 20.
Ooh,
29.
Nice.
Very
Flawless.
fitting for the rogue. Awesome.
First
Love
try.
it.
That was the confetti cannon.
All right, Dax, you kind of like open up the palms of your hands and just kind of rub them along the door, tapping very subtly with your fingers, just kind of listening for any resonance that comes back. And you feel like you understand almost like what lock is on the other side of this door just from like the vibrations you're feeling. And then you meticulously go through your thieves' tools, kind of dancing your fingers along the various picks that you have, and you pull out the perfect one, and you're almost kind of humming to yourself, like bobbing your head maybe. And then you place the various tools into the lock, and right away you feel it press against exactly what you'd expect to be there, just on the diagnostics you've done on this door. And you feel the satisfying click that you would expect to feel. And you know that this is a multi-step lock, something that you have to do 2 steps correctly to unlock, and you've already done the first one. And you casually pull out another thieves' tool from your pocket that you stowed away for this moment, kind of spin it, slide it into the lock as well, press against the lever, and you hear a very satisfying click. And you pull your picks out, and you look at Waltz, maybe with a smirk on your face, knowing that you've already picked the lock.
We're in. And I will, as slowly and quietly as I can, twist the handle on the door and open it.
Can you roll me a stealth check?
22.
Nice.
So you're about to go turn the handle on the door, and then you stop for a moment and you take out the same tool and hold it up against the door, and you're listening. You're like, "I'm telling you, Vorgoth would absolutely destroy Desmar. No way!" And you hear the sound of like a hand smacking on a table, and then a table flipping, and then just 2 guys like grumbling and like wrestling with each other, and you just kind of slowly open the door, and you just see 2 Drake Knights rolling around on the floor like punching each other.
Love it. I'll just kind of beckon Waltz in and slip inside the door.
I'll follow suit.
So yeah, Waltz, can you also roll me a stealth check with a +2 circumstance bonus, just because Dax has like so expertly set up this opening for you and just perfectly opened the door and
Yes.
picked the opportune time to open it as well.
I can do that. I rolled a 9.
Yeah.
All right. So Dax, you enter the shadows on the edge of the tunnel, like directly underneath the torchlight that's being cast out beyond you. And you're perfectly blending into the shadows, scooting along the wall, and you see these 2 Drake Knights like rolling around, punching each other, and just super aggressive. You see a barrel of ale in the corner and horns of ale on the table, and you can tell these guys have been drinking quite a bit. And you're like, "Oh, come on, Waltz, this will be pretty easy." And Waltz gives you like a little nod. He steps beyond the doorway and instantly kicks a horn of ale that was on the ground. It slides across the floor and bumps into the 2 wrestling Drake Knights, and they whip their head around like, "Oh, what? Hey, oh, get up!" And then they like push each other, and they stand up and like dust all the dirt off, and they're like, "Oh, who are you?"
Hey, listen, guys. I'm not going to get in between anything. I'm not going to get angry at you or anything.
How'd you
What
open the
you guys are
door?
doing, you guys didn't lock the door, and you guys are fighting and kind of slacking on your duties a little bit. Obviously, you need to pay attention a little bit more to what you're doing and who's on post, all right?
So seamless. All right, roll me deception with +2, actually +4 circumstance bonus. I don't know if there's a limit on what you're supposed to give in circumstance bonus, but they're like drunk, and that was really good.
Nat 20, baby!
Yeah!
Don't need
Yes,
it.
dude.
Don't
Dude, you
need
guys
the
are killing it.
circumstance bonus. Keep
Yeah.
it, Zach.
Technically
Keep your
29.
circumstance bonus.
You see one of the Drake Knights just smack the other one in the back of the head. Idiot! I told you to lock the door. And then he smacks him in the back of the head. No, I told you to lock the door. Oh, you're driving me crazy. And they just like grab each other and they're just like pushing each other back and forth.
I want to go separate them.
What?
So, hey, listen, guys, obviously this is probably what led to the mistake that just occurred. You guys need to get it together and learn to work together if you're going to be on post together and learn to lock this door, all right?
Yes, sir.
Listen, hey, you don't have to call me sir. I'm not going to tell on you. I'm not a tattletale. I'm just a friend, but I don't want you guys to get in any trouble. But this is serious warning. Anybody could just get in this thing if you guys slack off on your duties.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
Me too.
All right,
sorry.
you guys relax. Maybe a little less ale to kind of, you know.
We've barely had any ale.
All right,
It's like,
listen.
there's like barely any. Do you want some?
Are you lying to me right now?
Yes. Sorry.
All right. I understand. Just take it easy. Make sure you lock that door and, carry on your post.
Yeah, sorry about that, sir.
All right, we'll see you later.
Hey, one question though.
No, hey, listen, I know your question. Forgoss would definitely beat Desmar.
I told you.
I know. It's not even a question, honestly.
Ugh. Dang it.
All right, now the
But he's got
dispute is
lightning
settled.
breath. He knows
Listen,
he's got
hey.
lightning breath.
I know he's got lightning breath.
All right, yeah, okay.
All right, guys, relax. Get back to your post. Clean it up in here, and we'll see you guys when you're off post or something. All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right, later, guys.
Yeah.
No problem.
You see him kind of smack each other a couple more times in the back of the head, like idiot. And you link back up with Dax, who's further down the tunnel, like safely in the shadows.
I guess can I get a perception check or whatever? Just kind of take a look around, see what doors are available, what the room kind of is set up like, and just kind of get lay of the land.
Yeah, you can roll a perception check.
17.
Yeah, so you can tell that you're still underground. Like even where those guards are posted and that table it's in like a dirty tunnel cave. And you can look beyond and see that the tunnel goes on a little bit more, but you can see some natural light coming down. So you can tell that maybe if you go a little bit further down the tunnel, you'll officially be in Scalekeep.
Well, I guess with that, I will simply continue, hugging the walls, hugging the shadows, just continue down towards that light that I saw.
Hey, Dex, we're going to have to figure out where this Arcanor is. How do you say we do that?
I think the fastest way to do that would be to keep our ears to the ground, listen for any chatter. I mean, surely people won't be just talking about the Arcanor, but seeing if there's a more heavily secured room than others, maybe. Surely they won't leave the Arcanor just out, so we'll keep our ears to the ground for some chatter. We'll keep our eyes open, and just look out for a room that seems to be more heavily fortified than others. I think if we can find that, I think that's a great start to finding the Arcanor. As far as staying unnoticed, as we've discovered, staying out of sight seems to be what I do best.
Right.
I think it would be a good idea to maybe try to get some armor to blend in if we can, just in case somebody does catch a glimpse. I'm thinking maybe if I do get spotted, if I do get found out, maybe I'll just pretend to be drunk and not really coherent. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll throw me in kind of a holding area to sober up instead of just killing me on sight,
I think that's got to be last resort. Listen, I think we go together as long as possible.
For sure.
And when things hit the fan, you let me kind of take over and you kind of weasel your way out of that situation and you find the Arcanor.
I'm with you.
And I'll meet up with you whenever the job's done.
Where do we want to meet? Back down here? Or are we going to try to head out topside?
Listen, I think if we're going to meet up anywhere, it's got to be somewhere outside where hopefully we can also meet up with Jhuls and hopefully Ryu at this point. So as we kind of get up there, maybe we'll find a nice location to rendezvous.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
All right, so the two of you move to the end of the tunnel. There's some stairs. you start ascending into some natural light into Scale Keep. And with that, we'll cut back to Ryu and Jhuls.
Oh, yeah.
Twice in one session.
Twice
You're
in one
so
session, bro. Giving you a treat. Yeah. So the two of you are descending towards Kurapan. What are your plans? Where are you going? What you doing?
If I need to make another perception check, I can. Was there just one boat
Yeah, there was just one boat, yeah.
that they were loading?
No, they were unloading, which made you think that the other ship was out at sea.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll another perception check if you want.
Okay. 21.
All right, Jhuls. So as you're approaching Kurapan, you give it another once-over, as you did when you flew over the first time. And the main thing that catches your eye is the pace of all the Drake Knights seems to be much faster than it was the first time. There's a lot more frantic movements, commotion, other Drake Knights calling out, commanding others. And the ship that was unloading, which made you believe that the other ship would be out at sea, is now being loaded instead, with a long line of Drake Knights moving quickly, loading things onto the ship. And this ship is on the Pagos side of the town, which is, again, separated by a river. So on one side of the river, it's Gainmar, on the other side, it's Pagos.
Ryu, I think we need to disable that ship there.
Okay, a little more information would be helpful for me, Jhuls.
Sorry, I apologize. It's been a while since you've been with us. There's a ship down there, the only ship. They do seem to be in a hurry to load it.
I know you are familiar with ships, Jhuls. How do you suggest we disable it?
Can I maybe look around to see some sort of entry that would be a little sneakier?
Yeah, you could roll a perception check, like tailored towards the ship if you want.
That is another 21.
So yeah, you look down at the ship as you're getting closer, and you notice the ship has cannons on it. So it's a military ship. And you notice like the hatches for the cannons are open. So there is one opening there as well. And then you also notice there's just a lot of people loading. So you've partaken in loading ships many times, and you know it's a very busy time and it's a very easy situation to blend in with as well. But other than that, you also have a flying hippogriff and could land at any point on the ship, crow's nest even. Though you do know the skies are fairly clear, and you need to start planning what you're going to do as you get closer, because Smith is quite the sight in the sky.
If I'm being honest, Ryu, I think I've got this one.
Alone?
Unfortunately, yes. I think I'll go for a swim, and I'll steer Smith down to dive closer to the water. I'll turn to Ryu and I'll say, "He's all yours," and then I'll jump off and pencil dive into the water.
Beautiful. Your pirate shirt billows in the air as you gracefully dive into the water, barely make a ripple as you perfectly dive into the depths of the sea and are below the water. And now, Ryu, you are in control of a hippogriff with almost no notice at all.
Perfect. I'll lean towards Sniff's head and I'll say, Sniff, was it?
It does a defiant buck of its head and lets out a little shriek.
Jhuls took action on his own, knowing that deceit and espionage are not in my realm of expertise. But I feel I can still be of assistance. Sniff, drop me off in the center of Kurapan.
Okay, you just assume he understands, common or English. Let me command an animal check.
Flap your wings twice if you understand.
He's just flapping his wings.
Alright, I'm sure Ryu's great at commanding animals. Fudge! I nat one.
Oh, here's our distraction.
No joke.
So Ryu, as you lean forward to say this into Sniff's ear, who you've already upset by calling him the wrong name, you're actually pushing down on his shoulders, and he thinks you're commanding him to fly downward. And Smith starts to nosedive towards the docks with all of the Drake Knights carrying crates and loading onto the ship.
What are you doing? Where are you taking us, Sniff?
So you're kind of patting him on the shoulder, pushing him down even further, and then you realize you're literally about to run into a bunch of Drake Knights carrying crates on the dock, and Smith crashes through several Drake Knights. They drop crates, they dive out of the way, and you get thrown off of Smith's shoulders and roll through the ground, and you feel yourself slide up into a mound of snow and begin to transform once again.
I imagine the snow covered him, and he stands up, and as the snow like falls off him, he's like completely changed.
Oh yeah, I like clear the snow off the top of my head, and the hair is black.
Yep.
And you hear the sounds of several swords sliding out of their sheaths, and that's where we'll end our session.
All according to plan, right?
You guys are all like as a team doing your own plans simultaneously, and I am here for it. So yeah, we're gonna end our session with Waltz and Dax entering Scale Keep for the Arcanor, Jhuls diving into the ocean, and Ryu. I don't know, man. We'll find out what Ryu's doing.
If I can just say,
hold on, what am I doing? I'm talking about the episode. I should shut up because we're going to do that in the downtime, which is for patrons, where we talk and react to the most recent episode as both characters and players and what was going through our minds and all this and that. It's just a nice relaxed episode where we just, talk about everything. So if you want to hear that, you should become a patron, because if you're a patron, you can also join our Discord and send us memes. There's people sending pictures of potatoes they're growing and stuff like that. It's like really top tier content.
That made me
you
hungry
gotta
today.
get in there. You can't miss it. It's amazing.
Can't miss what happens to the potato.
Yeah. And you can see all of Adam's session sketches where you get a vote on them, and he'll do a sketch commemorating the episode. All kinds of stuff. Check it out. Patreon. We list all the benefits. It's awesome. Check it out. And I would just like to thank our listeners for listening to us for this long. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of this community. Check us out on Reddit, Instagram, Patreon, YouTube, all that stuff. Give us a like, thumbs up, 5 stars, review, whatever. All that stuff really helps us out, helps us beat the algorithm, makes us feel good. We really appreciate it. Helps us grow the show. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank Joel, who does all of our editing for vocals, which is a super tedious task as always, and he does a phenomenal job. Cleans us up, makes us sound great. Thank you so much, Joel, for listening to all of our blunders over and over again and still hanging out with us, man. You've seen the worst of us, and you're still our friend. We really appreciate it. Thanks, Joel. Joel, you're the best. Hey, Taryn.
My pleasure.
I want to thank you, man, because you do all of our sound effects. I don't know if you knew that. You've been doing all of our sound effects. Do you remember that? Taryn, you're doing a great job. I love hearing all the sound effects you put into the episode. They're amazing, because I'm like, I listen to it without sound effects, and I'm like, man, here I am describing all these sounds, but like, I don't hear these sounds. And then I listened to the episode after you got your hands on it, and dude, I hear the sounds. It's great. You do such a great job.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you put them in there.
It's like if someone were to be like, hey, listen to this chicken right here.
Yeah, because like, did anyone hear?
Wow,
did anyone hear
that was
chicken?
amazing.
In real time, I didn't hear
did
chicken. But then later, when I listen
Taryn,
to it,
that
I
was
feel like
awesome.
I'll hear a chicken. So yeah, thanks, Taryn, for doing that. Without you, we'd have no chickens. So thanks, Taryn. And I'd like to thank Adam, who does all of our artwork for the show. And I'm talking like all of our artwork, because none of us can draw. Well, actually, can any of you guys draw at all? I can't really draw. I can draw faces from like one perspective. I can do like the Dragon Ball Z, but just from like the shoulders up and only
We're
head
pretty
on.
good at those.
I can kind of do those, and that's it. But so because none of us can draw, we needed Adam, and then Adam's like, hey, I'm actually like a really, 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 really good artist. And we're like, oh, that's perfect, because that's exactly what we need. And if you want to see how good of an artist Adam is, you should check out our Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, all that stuff, because there's just like all kinds of artwork on there, man, and it's all about the show, and he brings it to life. So thanks for doing that, Adam. You're doing great. And I'd like to thank
Adam.
Ryan, who does all of our original music. That's right. I said original. We don't drop in any kind of like license-free generic stuff. We're like, hey Ryan, when you get home from work, I need you to write us a banger. This dude's like John Williams, like that Star Wars guy, but like for Mortals and Portals. And he goes in there and like his whole house lights on fire, which is how hard he goes. It's just like completely insane.
He just uses his mouth.
Yeah, he's got like the speakers from like Back to the
beatboxing.
Future that Marty McFly like turns on that like blows like a hole in like the wall. He like turns that on and he's just like boom, Mortals and Portals theme song, and his neighbors are like, pipe down, and he's like, I can't. That's Ryan. He's just like, he can't stop making these original tunes, Ryan. You're doing such a good job, man. Keep it up. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
And and you listener, you're doing a great job because you're listening to us, and that's really all we need you to do, other than also check us out on Reddit, Instagram, Patreon, and give us a review. That would really help us out. So yeah, everyone's doing great. Good job all around. And we'll see you next time, mortals.
What? Hold on. You said you talked to Sindor?
Yes, Sindar was on that ship. I probably should have told him that like right away.
Yeah, probably. Like, honestly, I forgot that happened until Adam just picked up on it. I was like, oh, yeah, you should probably catch up on that. He's like, yeah, sometimes my hair changes, and that's it. It's really all you gotta know.